So guys, those secrets, pretty much this is my terminal on the Mac, right? That's where I get to interface with my virtual machine, which is this little thing over here. I don't know if you guys can see, like a little moon, and then the virtual machine is where I install Linux, and that's my interface over there. So I'm pretty much lost in terms of Linux because Linux has this commands called lscd, and that's when you get to understand how to surf into that. So I have this directory that I know I can type this code like simple like that, the dash dot Bitcoin, and ls is when I get to search what's inside that. So I know there's like folders like bandlist.dat, chain state. I know this is a folder because this is purple, db.log, fee estimates.dat, blah blah blah. So those are the folders inside that. So when I explore the folder cd testnet 3, for example, I picked this one, right, the testnet 3, and then I opened it, and then I couldn't see pretty much more or less what's inside. So I spent about 3 weeks just downloading stuff that I have no idea where they are. So until I realized that I was pretty much lost because I didn't know Linux. And then I got to this tutorial here from the Rochester University, and they pretty much teach you how to surf Linux. So I was just typing like cd dot dot without really knowing what I was doing, but now I know that cd dot dot just goes back like really quick one directory, so just moves up one directory. So in Windows it's pretty simple, like you just have a folder, right, and then you go back, click the mouse, but here is dot dot. So another one that was pretty useful to me was cd, and then this, I don't know how to call this symbol, that takes you back to your home directory. So when I read that for the freaking first time, that's when I got to see that, oh my god, let me see where's home, you know? And let me go back to my terminal window. So that's when I finally type like home. Where is it? I typed this and it took me to my home directory, and that's what I have inside home directory ls. I could get the folders that I do have over there, and I didn't know where the heck did I save Bitcoin, or where is Bitcoin folder. And I know I did a lot under this src folder. So here am I trying to find out what's inside the src. Src happens to have a folder called Bitcoin, another database, and another uncompressed database that I think because I compressed it became red. Really no idea, but let's check inside Bitcoin, right? So ls, and those were the folders that open inside Bitcoin. And there was another src inside Bitcoin. And so when I just type, for example, config, right, there is a folder called config.status. When I do cd.config.status, I get an error message. This is not a directory. And then I just type to config.status, command not found. So basically I'm pretty much absolutely lost, but src is purple, so it looks like it's a folder that is not gonna let me down. So when I put cd space src, and then I found like a bunch of stuff inside, and then I was really happy, like look how many things are inside the Bitcoin src folder. So over there, then I do have actually my Bitcoin client and my Bitcoin D, which is probably the Bitcoin daemon, and the Bitcoin TX. So somewhere over there is where I will be able to do my coding. I still don't know exactly. All I know is that I am here in the folder of my main directory called src. Inside that folder there is a Bitcoin. Inside that folder there is another src, and then there's a Bitcoin/CLI, which is the Bitcoin client, the light node, where I will be able to interact with either the testnet or the reg test, or you name it. So again, whenever I'm lost, I just go back one directory, cd dot dot, right? And then I go back. So this is what I've been doing for entertaining myself. Now, what's really curious is that when I started to do like an Excel for all this shit, because I was so lost. So again, in my main directory, I have those folders here that I created, of course, in the wrong places. No idea is obviously it doesn't come with the Bitcoin directory. It doesn't come with Linux automatically. Someone named Juliana Passos probably created that. No idea. And I have freaking no idea what am I doing. And then I saved the SRC, which again has the databases. And then over there, I also have some sort of session 3 environment, right? So I had to divide in my brain what's in there. Bitcoin, all the folders inside Bitcoin, inside SRC. This is all the amount of stuff inside SRC. And then I have this here. There is some errors that I got this week regarding this RPC that I also have no freaking clue what RPC means. But there are some files inside RPC and I just wanted to map them to know where they are. Anyways, there were some files. As you can see, everything that's purple is a folder, but everything that's green, it's not a folder. And I don't know exactly what it is. All I know is that to open them, you have to put ./Bitcoin client or ./Bitcoin D for Bitcoin daemon, ./Bitcoin TX. So I came here and that's where I were. And actually it really works when I type this code .bitcoin.tx. And it opens like the version that I'm having according to the Bitcoin developers. Actually, big thank you to Matt Corallo that is giving me a hand on that. He was super precious help. And he told me that I'm still using the V13, but the latest one is the V18. So pretty much the university is not the most updated version. But anyways, that's what I have. And I think since the version 13, I will be able to do a transaction. And so that's what's inside the folder TX. Testnet is where I have to do my homework. I have to put a string in the testnet. So that's over there. Leave this aside. There was another command called Bitcoin D, and that command gives me nothing back. So I also saw in a tutorial from a guy somewhere in the YouTube University that there is a Control Z, and then I can just stop. So at least I know it's working. And then in the Bitcoin client, which is this other green command, right? I read this kind of stuff. So I can probably do some configurations over here, use the testnet over here, RPC user. So this RPC stuff is the real enigma of the day. But anyways, so just explaining you guys that one thing is to do coding. Doing a lot of courses, it's helpful. But it's when you actually really download the testnet, the Bitcoin tutorials, that's when you get to really understand what's behind the scenes. It's not very difficult. It's really not very difficult. But it takes a while for the brain to get used to what's going on. So when I type like this symbol ./Bitcoin, it opens up like a whole different kind of stuff in my computer. So where do I open Bitcoin? How basic is that for a question, right? I know Bitcoin is here under SRC and it gives me these files. But whenever I go to Bitcoin here, it gives me like some other kind of files. So some other databases and stuff. So it's kind of tricky because I did installation on top of installation and I don't really know exactly what am I doing. I just installed and then the next day I came back and then I don't remember how I turned on the computer and reinstalled more stuff. So I just downloaded a lot of libraries and stuff and that's why I'm so lost. So you really need to be in touch with the community, with the developers to learn this how to interact with the Bitcoin testnet blockchain. The testnet, the money there is fictional, so there's nothing that you can lose about learning that. I really suggest that everybody gives a trial. And that's it for today. Thank you so much. This is programming on Linux, map of Linux Juju, a little less lost right now.